they went, what they entered, you know, whatever difficulties they experienced. Like here, they, in this particular instance, it shows not found, so it makes you discover that for that particular visitor, for example, they did not have a good interaction with your website because they encountered an error and they were kicked out, or they could not access some of your pages.
Like who would have time to ever look at this?
Yeah, you don't have time to look at this, except because it is stored, you have the choice, because you do have also access. Let me go to reports. Here, show you an example here. Okay, you do have, of course, all the statistical data that you get usually with all the analytics, including with Omniture. You can, but because we do have a very highly selective tagging system and segmentation system, I am assuming that you know what tagging, segmentation means, and you have been using them. Is my assumption? Okay, so once you tag people, for example, who are encountering difficulties with your website, or if you go, for example, you know, let me go to an area here, key actions. For example, you know, it gives you, for example, you can tag specific events that you want to monitor because, or you want to watch because you are interested in getting, you know, that information. So once you identify the few records that carry that tag, you can zero in and watch exactly what happened with these individuals. So you don't have to watch all the 40 millions or the 30 millions, of course. You watch only the few that you are interested in because you tag them in a certain manner. For example, some of the tagging could be that you assign a tag whereby, you know, someone, an individual, for example, who used a keyword more than twice or 3 times in entering a form or trying to enter a comment or so, and you want to look at the visits of these specific individuals. So you can go back to those visits and watch them individually to understand, you know, what is going on and understand the why behind their behavior in such a way that it will allow you to grasp and have a full understanding of their visit and their interaction with your website. But otherwise, you don't have to, of course, look at all of it. You can just look at, you know, some results like the analytics results, which gives you, you know, a picture, again, on what you are used to, you know, with circulation, with visits, etc., on a weekly basis or monthly basis or daily basis, you know, whatever indicator you are interested in observing for any particular way or type here. Let me show you. All right. Okay. I am assuming also you are familiar with conversion funnels.
Yep.
Do you have that, conversion funnels? Do you follow that on your system? Okay. For example, you know, here, you know, we do have, of course, conversion funnels, and this you can identify, for example, what happens to people who, like here it shows on step 1, go from your home page to a different page, for example, and they do not continue, so they fall off. So here in this example, conversion rate being 15%, you can try to identify what happened to these people who did not convert, people who are not part of those 15.3%, to understand their experience. To see, for example, you know, what happened. Was there an error? Was there, you know, a mistake that kicked them out, like here? I mean, you can understand, you can tag them and see where they came from geographically, what country, what city, what state, what zip code, down to the zip code. You know, we can track that. You can see, for example, where they came from, what they are looking for, what pages they review at each time, etc., etc. So it gives you all that information that digs deeper than you had been able to access before.
Okay.
Do you have any question so far?
No?
Okay. Okay. This view shows you, this is an actual, basically, a view of active viewers on this fictional site that we have that illustrates if you were interested to observe a live, for example, you might be interested to say every day I want to look at 10 records or 5 records. I want to look at them while they are occurring, just to follow from the perspective of one of our readers who are accessing our site. So you look at it. So these are 5 unique visitors that are simultaneous. Here, of course, we are simulating it just to make our point. It shows you, for example, what they are entering, and the special thing about it is while it's recording it, it shows you also live what is happening. So if you were interested to talk, for example, to chat with that individual, you can chat with them real time, but knowing, having the information of what they are looking for, what they have looked at, etc. Without having to interfere, with their situation, but knowing what they are looking at, and you can follow what they are seeking, out of their visit, etc. So in your case, it might not be the most important feature, just because, like you said, you have you are not selling anything on your website, but lots of time it is important for you also to understand the why behind people looking at the website, and to try to put yourself in their shoes to understand their experience as it's occurring in real life. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, good enough. Let me show you one more feature, then I will stop. We are also the first company, I don't know if you have that with Omniture right now, but we can track also all the activity that occurs on mobile phone. For example, if someone is looking at your website on mobile, we have the ability to just catch everything up to the minute detail, including, if you can see these dots here, the orange and the blue, including all activity that occurs, so their first finger, their first touch point, and the way they zoom in. For example, if they turn their mobile phone, their smartphone, from portrait to landscape orientation, you can catch that. You see where their first finger, makes again the touch point, and what trajectory, it goes, looking at things, zooming in, zooming out, etc. And we can show it to you also with, with the exact, just the right way, the same way that your visitor is looking at it. We have that differentiator also because we have the ability to show it to you whether it's on mobile phone or on desktop, with the same visibility that the individual visitor, is exposed to. Do you have any questions so far?
No, that was really good, actually. Same on a tablet, I assume?
Pardon?
You were showing the capabilities of the mobile phone. Would that hold true for a tablet as well?
That's correct. That's correct. On mobile platforms.
Wonderful. Very timely.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, good. Let me just give you one just brief introduction to digital competitive intelligence. As I started mentioning initially, digital competitive intelligence gives you the power basically to know everything that is going on in your field with your competitors on their website, which means if you were interested in monitoring your competitors, whether they are making any changes on their website or introducing any keywords, introducing, anything new at all in their digital strategy, digital marketing, anything at all, their readership, for example, their views, whether they experience over the past week or the past month or the past 3 days, whether they experienced a boost and increase in their readership, and try to understand why, because we do have that ability to monitor to the minute detail all your competitors and give you a report at the frequency that you choose. If you want it every 2 days, we can do it. If you want it every week, we can do it. Every month, we can do it. You know, any rate that you prefer. This will give you the edge, will give you the upper hand, basically, in understanding each and every move they make, and also the results, to be able to assess the results as far as readership, you know, in your field, and results as far as the people, their reaction, results also if you were a business and you were selling or using advertisement, for example, income from advertisement due to one particular change that we can pick up. And the reason we can do that is we are the first company that has been able to index the entire global web domains, and this is globally. As a point of reference, you know, Google, Bing, etc. have up to a maximum of 30 million domains that have been indexed, and usually they are not automatically indexing all new domains. There has to be a reason, someone searching or someone, you know, suggesting, etc., for them to pick it up. In our case, we spent the time we have spent, you know, over 5 years gathering all information that is available worldwide on the net, on the web, basically. And so far, we have indexed over 180 million domains that we have it organized, indexed in a huge database that is integrated with our product, and we have continuous access and continuously updated also with the new information as it comes up. So what that does, it allows us to monitor everything anywhere in the world and be able to appraise you of any changes that are pertinent, you know, as long as we discover that with you, we decide, for example, you are interested in monitoring one aspect or another, you know, at any time. So it's like, in other words, we are spying on the competition and keeping track of the competition and reporting everything back to you as it is occurring.
Do you have an example? Do you have anything you can kind of show me?
All right. Well, okay, let's go. Pat?
Hi, Nat, if you can scroll down a little bit, please, on the page.
Yeah.
We have, there's on the...
Yeah, here it is. Yep.
Scroll down, click on the container on the left. I'm sorry, Nat, go to the one on the left to show what a actual deliverable looks like. You're going to have to go up to the middle of the screen and...
Yep, here. Yep. Okay, here it is. Go ahead, Patrick. What if you go ahead and explain it?
Hi, Charles. My name is Patrick. How are you?
Hey, Patrick. Good, thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, so to explain this straightforward, this deliverable referenced here would be you would outline your 3 competitors. We would be monitoring their traffic rank by default on a monthly basis. So you would have automated awareness in a dashboard to say, my competitors' increases in traffic in any specified time. From there, we have the correlated changes within the source code at each increment of traffic increase or decrease. So let's say one of your competitors has 50 million new Facebook likes. They also have a 20% jump in traffic. You would be able to see that direct correlation to take a closer look at a company and not have to figure out what are they doing.
Okay.
Does that make sense? On the top, I mean, the other aspect here is I gave one example of Facebook or social media. It applies to anything it's seen on a website. So when it comes to content, when it comes to analytics or technologies used, anything detectable from the source code of a website, we're monitoring and giving you automated awareness. So, you know, if BCD technology comes out tomorrow and it's suddenly having great effects on your customer, you're not going to be left in the dark.
Interesting. Okay.
I would need to mention one more feature there. If you can look on the bottom left under industry, The premise there is that we speak to every potential client. We ask them to define their industry. So, for instance, if someone said, my competitors are only 50 companies in this region using this term. If they said my competitors are 100,000 companies, anyone who sells cats is my competitor. We can define that for you across our global index and come up in this example with the trends across an industry, such as if a technology was used 5% more of the time with your industry, you'd be notified. The average page load speed in this example for your industry. So you pick 4 to 5 most relevant KPIs that your company's interested in. We just kind of set them on set and forget, and then every month you'd have a dashboard for awareness into what matters. So that's a general premise behind competitive intelligence.
Okay. Good.
Okay, great. Do you have any other questions, Charles?
No. Do you have any other newspaper publishers who use your product?
Can we, I don't think we have the authorization basically to use their names or tell, because they are competitors. So I apologize, I can't give you names now, but
But you do have some?
Yeah, we do. Yes.
We can
and
send
and we are in negotiation with major also media outlets, at the time being. But again, I apologize. We cannot just give the name because we don't have the specific authorization to divulge the information.
All right, fair enough.
All right. Well, tell me a little bit. Do you see a value that we can add to what you have, with, the OPCO product basically being added to your ARMA, to what you have right now in advancing what you are trying to do?
Immediate thing that I see that I think would really be beneficial to us is tomorrow we launch 12 new tablets, and we're going to be focusing on the tablets. And obviously that's not something that's in our expertise at this point. So being able to see what consumers are doing with them and how they're engaging with them, to me, seems pretty exciting. In regards to being able to watch what people do outside of that, well, I don't know how much value. I probably don't see tons of value in that, me personally, but my analytics team very well may.
How is the decision making in your organization? I mean, who makes the decision? Are you the decision maker in this area, or do you have to report to Well,
it just depends, and so this would be more in line with our analytics team, which is out of Raleigh, North Carolina. So, and that would be Norm Cloutier. So what I would like to do is put you in touch with him.
Okay.
And I think this is something that this would be more in his wheelhouse than mine, just in regards to, I'm more on the sales. I don't see anything I could use to really boost our sales so much. And whereas he could use this, I mean, I think this would be a very valuable tool for us in regards to really getting a better understanding of what we're doing, what our consumers is doing, as well as what our competition is doing. So, threefold, I think it's a really cool product.
Okay, well, we would appreciate it if you could, direct us, refer us to your analytics team in North Carolina, and we'll be happy to arrange for, a meeting with them in such a way that we give them a full presentation, and we discuss, ways that we can move ahead. And, I believe from what I heard from you that there is a role that we could play in being added to the rest of the products, the tools that you have in your disposition now. So we would be interested, yes, to talk to. So would you do that, or?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, when I get off the phone, I will reach out to him directly, and then I'll make the introduction.
Okay, great. What time frame are we talking about, just to expect to schedule something?
Like I said, as soon as I get off the phone with you, I'll reach out to him, just give him a quick overview of what I see and the value I see in it, And then if he's interested, which I'm pretty sure he will be, then I'll send an email of introduction, and then you guys can take it from there.
Okay, great, great. Anything else, Pat? Do you need Pat?
Nothing really, just that was an extremely shallow dig on the technical end and capabilities. So yeah, it's always best, most relevant to speak to the the guy within your industry. If he wants to go deep, we can go as deep as he wants.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they may want to, really dive a lot deeper than I. Yeah, no, this is great. Thank you for taking the time to show this to me. I could definitely see some practical applications for sure.
Okay, great.
One last question, Charles.
Yeah.
I had a question. You didn't reference. So, do you guys have one primary domain, or do you guys have a network of? I got lost in early on. You mentioned something about 12 different networks. Do you guys?
Yeah, no. So we have 30 different websites. Well, more than that, but 30 different newspapers. Like for example, in Miami, we have Miami Herald is our newspaper. They also have Miami.com. They also have El Nuevo Herald. They also have an iPad. They also have multiple iPhone applications as well. So, we have lots of different, and each one of our properties is just like that.
Okay, are there a couple sites you would, I like to, for a follow-up with analytics, to give some additional value-added insight that we could detect that's basically not possible with his current tools? Would you be able to highlight one or two high-traffic websites in your network?
Yeah, so highest traffic sites are Sacramento Bee,
okay,
Miami Herald, Charlotte Observer, are three biggest ones.
So the person we're speaking to has direct access to those analytics, so referencing those sites. Okay, you'll have a very relevant conversation then. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I have access to that as well. But yeah, no, they're definitely the data people, for sure. And then something else that might be interesting for you guys, just in conversation, is, for example, in our Fort Worth marketplace, we've got the Dallas Morning News, which is our direct competitor, and we also have the Fort Worth Star Telegram. That's the only market that we're not the number one. That in Seattle. So in every other market like Sacramento, we are the largest media organization. Whereas in Dallas, Fort Worth, and Seattle, those are the two that we compete. So in regards to the competitive intelligence, that might be something you may want to speak to.
Sure. Thank you for the input, and this is very helpful, and definitely. So we will wait for your follow-up.
I've got to jump on another call after this, but yeah, you'll hear back from me today.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Charles, you have a wonderful afternoon.
You too. Thank you again for taking the time out. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello?
Yeah, just a sec.
Please can you enter all your notes into HighRise? Do you know how for?
Yeah, I will do it. Yep. I think he left.
Wow, we need to blow up our whole research.
To make sure, just a second.
They own 10 of the largest Miami Herald, Sacramento Bee. They're
Okay. Okay, he has left. Yep. I know my accent was a little bit.
The accent. I mean, to be honest, if it was an analytics person, whatever. We'll try. So.
No, I know. I didn't try to dig deep or anything, just because to me it wasn't appropriate here. He's in the sales department, obviously. But you saw, I mean, this is, if they are really the largest newspapers, you didn't think so originally, did you?
I know, it's my fault. That's why we need to start doing research.
Yeah, because when I said, this is why research is very, very important.
So they're much larger than any individual newspaper in the country, easily.
Yep, obviously.
Wow.
And taking these, the Miami Herald and all these are, major.
They're obviously very data-oriented, as he said. So, yeah, this is real. I'm going to be really honest with our pitches. I think it comes down 80% more to the client than even the pitch, The client, just don't throw too much at them, and in this case, if they're data-oriented, they understand what you explain, so.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So you still don't, we did record it on our end, so we have it, and we'll deal with that later on, so.
Okay, no problem. Yep. So we'll wait for his email. Hopefully he will send it, and then
Do you know how, can you actually do it on the screen to make sure we're on the same page within Basecamp, how we're doing this notes-wise?
you mean the notes?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I want to do this while you're on. Yeah, can you go to Basecamp,
Okay.
please, on your screen?